Most people think aging begins in the mirror, but it actually begins in places you will never see. Not in your wrinkles, not in your joints, not even in your energy levels. Because by the time you notice those things, the real damage has already been happening for years, silently, deep inside your cells. Every single day, your DNA, the instruction manual that tells your body how to repair, regenerate, and stay young, is being scratched, worn down, and slowly corrupted. Not all at once, but gradually, like invisible sandpaper dragging across a delicate surface. This damage comes from oxidative stress, chronic inflammation, and the constant internal pressure your body faces just to survive in the modern world. Now here's where it gets unsettling. Inside your body exists a powerful biological switch, a master control system that determines whether your cells repair themselves or continue to break down. This switch is known as FOXO3, and for most people, it stays turned off, even if you eat relatively healthy, even if you exercise, even if you think you're doing everything right. Which means your body may not be repairing itself the way it's designed to. But here's the twist. There's something incredibly common, something likely sitting in your kitchen right now, that has the potential to influence this switch. The problem is, most people are using it in a way that completely cancels out its benefits without even realizing it. What if the difference between accelerated aging and deep cellular repair came down to how you use one simple spice, and almost no one gets it right? Right now, inside your body, each cell is being hit with tens of thousands of DNA damage events every single day. Think about that for a second. It's like taking a perfectly written book and having thousands of its letters smudged, distorted, or erased over and over again every single day. At first, you wouldn't notice much. The sentences still make sense. The story still flows. But over time, the errors begin to stack. Words become unclear, instructions get misread, and eventually, the entire system starts to break down. That's exactly what's happening inside your cells. These tiny molecular errors accumulate like microscopic cracks in the foundation of a building. You don't see them immediately, but they weaken everything over time. This is where fatigue starts to creep in. Recovery slows down, inflammation lingers, aging becomes visible. And the most concerning part is, this is happening right now, even if you feel completely fine. Because the real problem isn't the damage itself. It's whether your body can repair it fast enough. Here's what no one is telling you. I'm Dr. Christal, and over the years, I've worked with countless individuals dealing with persistent fatigue, chronic inflammation, early signs of aging, and a slow but steady decline in metabolic health. What stood out to me wasn't just their symptoms. It was the pattern behind them. Many of these people were doing everything they had been told to do. They were taking high-quality supplements, following structured diets, exercising consistently. On paper, they were doing all the right things, and yet, their bodies weren't responding the way they expected. Energy levels stayed low, recovery remained slow, inflammation markers didn't fully resolve, and the signs of aging continued to progress beneath the surface. That's when I realized something important. The issue wasn't simply what they were adding into their bodies, it was what they weren't activating within their cells. This is where my focus shifted toward a powerful internal system that most people have never even heard of. A master regulator that plays a central role in how your body responds to stress, repairs damage, and maintains long-term resilience. That system is FOXO3. As I began paying closer attention to this pathway, a different picture started to emerge. Patients who showed better recovery, more stable energy, and healthier aging markers often shared something in common. Their bodies had a stronger ability to switch on internal repair mechanisms, especially under stress. It wasn't about perfection, it was about responsiveness. Some individuals could bounce back faster after physical or metabolic stress. Others maintained better cellular balance even when life wasn't perfectly optimized. And when you look closer, you start to see it in everyday scenarios. The person who recovers quickly after a long week instead of feeling drained for days. The one whose energy remains stable instead of crashing in the afternoon. The one who seems to age more slowly, even without extreme routines. This isn't random. Your body already has deeply intelligent, built-in repair systems designed to handle damage, regulate inflammation, and protect your cells over time. But these systems don't just run at full capacity on their own, they respond to signals. And what's fascinating is that certain natural compounds, especially those found in everyday spices, can influence these signaling pathways in very specific ways. But here's where most people go wrong. They assume it's about adding more, taking higher doses, or using everything at once. In reality, it's not about more, it's about how you use it, and when your body is actually able to respond. And once you understand how this switch works, everything about aging and cellular health starts to look very different. In the next few minutes, you're going to start seeing your body very differently. Because what you're about to learn isn't another surface-level anti-aging tip. It's a deeper look at a hidden cellular switch that quietly controls whether your body repairs damage or allows it to accumulate. You'll understand how this master regulator, FOXO3, functions inside your cells and what actually happens when it's activated the right way. Not just in theory, but in real biological terms. We're going to connect the dots between inflammation, oxidative stress, and the signaling pathways that determine how well your body maintains itself over time. You'll see how these processes are constantly interacting beneath the surface, shaping everything from your energy levels to how quickly you recover. Then we'll shift into something far more practical, because there's a specific, commonly used spice that interacts with this pathway in a very unique way. And you'll learn exactly how to use it correctly, how much, when to take it, and what to combine it with to actually make it effective. This is where most people get it wrong. They either use too little, use it at the wrong time, or combine it in a way that completely destroys its potential without even realizing it. We'll also touch on something called bioavailability, how much of a compound your body can actually absorb and use, which plays a major role in whether this works or not. And the goal here isn't complexity. It's giving you a simple, repeatable way to integrate this into your daily routine without overthinking it. So by the end, you won't just hear phrases like boosting stem cells. You'll understand what that really means and how to support the internal environment that allows those systems to function properly. But first, you need to see what's actually happening inside your cells. Imagine your body as a vast, highly organized city. At the center of this city is a master blueprint, your DNA. Every instruction for building, repairing, and maintaining the entire system is stored there with precision. Now picture your cells as individual buildings. Some are newer, some older, but all of them rely on that original blueprint to stay functional, stable, and strong. Every single day, this city is exposed to stress. There's pollution in the air, constant wear and tear on structures, and even small acts of damage, like vandalism, happening in the background. In biological terms, this is oxidative stress and inflammation, tiny disruptions that slowly chip away at your cellular integrity. Under normal conditions, the city has a highly efficient repair and maintenance system. There's a central commander, FOXO3, responsible for monitoring damage and sending out repair crews exactly where they're needed. When this system is active, cracks get fixed quickly, debris is cleared, and buildings stay structurally sound. But here's where things begin to break down. Over time, due to chronic stress, poor signaling, or simply the way modern lifestyles overload the system, that commander becomes less active. FOXO3 stops issuing strong repair signals. The repair crews slow down, and the damage that once would have been fixed immediately starts to accumulate. Small cracks turn into structural weaknesses, minor issues spread into larger problems, and the entire city begins to lose its efficiency. This creates a chain reaction. Damage builds up, repair becomes less effective, inflammation starts to rise, cells begin to function poorly, and eventually the signs of aging start to appear, both internally and externally. Now, there's another important layer to the system. Your body has reserve construction workers, your stem cells. These are specialized units designed to step in, rebuild, and regenerate damaged areas when needed. But even the best construction workers can't do their job in a city that's overwhelmed with chaos. If the environment is filled with ongoing damage, if signals are weak, if the command system isn't active, those stem cells can't function at their full potential. They become less efficient, slower to respond, and less capable of restoring what's been lost. So the real question isn't, do you have damage? It's, can your body still repair it? To really understand what's happening here, you have to look at it through 3 core biological shifts that all connect back to the same goal: helping your body repair, adapt, and stay resilient over time. The first is FOXO3 activation. Think of this as flipping the master repair switch inside your cells. When FOXO3 is active, it begins turning on a network of genes responsible for DNA repair, stress resistance, and cellular cleanup. It's like the commander in that city suddenly becoming alert again, sending out signals, mobilizing repair crews, and restoring order where damage has been building. This matters because aging, at its core, is not just about time passing. It's about how well your body maintains and repairs itself during that time. When this switch stays inactive, damage accumulates faster than it can be fixed. But when it's activated, your cells shift into a more protective, repair-focused state. The second mechanism involves oxidative stress. Inside your body, there are constantly small reactive molecules being produced. These are often referred to as reactive oxygen species, or ROS. You can think of them as tiny cellular sparks. In small amounts, they're normal, but when they build up, they start colliding with important structures, damaging cell membranes, proteins, and even your DNA. Over time, these sparks create more and more microscopic damage, accelerating the breakdown of that cellular blueprint. This is where compounds like curcumin come into play. Curcumin has the ability to help neutralize these sparks before they cause widespread damage. It doesn't stop the process entirely. That wouldn't be realistic, but it helps bring balance back to the system. And when oxidative stress is reduced, your DNA is better protected, giving your cells a more stable foundation to function from. The third mechanism is anti-inflammatory signaling. Chronic inflammation is like a constant alarm going off inside your body. It keeps your system in a state of high alert, even when there's no immediate threat. Over time, this drains resources, disrupts normal repair processes, and creates an environment where damage spreads more easily. When inflammation stays elevated, it becomes harder for your body to focus on restoration. Curcumin helps calm this internal alarm system. It sends signals that reduce unnecessary inflammation, allowing your body to shift out of defense mode and back into repair mode. And this shift is critical because your stem cells, the reserve units responsible for regeneration, depend on a stable, low-stress environment to function properly. When the environment improves, their ability to repair and rebuild improves with it. All 3 of these mechanisms work together. You're activating repair pathways, reducing ongoing damage, and creating a more supportive internal environment at the same time. And that's the key. This is why it's not just about taking something, it's about influencing how your cells behave. When you start looking into the research behind this, a very consistent pattern begins to emerge. There are multiple studies exploring how curcumin interacts with gene expression pathways linked to cellular repair and longevity, including pathways connected to FOXO3. Researchers from institutions like Harvard Medical School and publications in journals such as Nature have examined how certain plant compounds can influence these stress response systems at a genetic level. What they've found is that curcumin doesn't just support health in a vague sense. It can actually influence the signaling pathways that determine whether repair genes are turned on or remain inactive. In simple terms, it's not just feeding your body, it's communicating with it. Then you see another layer of evidence when researchers measure oxidative stress. Studies published in journals like the Journal of Clinical Investigation have shown that curcumin supplementation is associated with reductions in markers of oxidative damage. That means fewer of those cellular sparks are colliding with and damaging critical structures like your DNA. Translated into real life, this means your cells are experiencing less ongoing wear and tear, giving your body a better chance to maintain stability over time instead of constantly playing catch-up. And then there's inflammation. Chronic inflammation is one of the most studied drivers of aging and disease, and curcumin has been repeatedly shown to influence inflammatory biomarkers. Research from universities like University of California has explored how curcumin can help downregulate inflammatory signaling pathways, allowing the body to shift out of that constant alarm state. What that really means is your body can redirect its energy. Instead of staying locked in defense mode, it can focus more on repair, recovery, and regeneration. So when you step back and look at the full picture, you start to see a clear pattern. You have compounds that influence gene expression, reduce ongoing cellular damage, and calm the internal environment all at the same time. This isn't abstract theory. This is measurable biology happening at the cellular level. But here's where most people go wrong. They focus on curcumin, but they ignore the conditions your body needs in order to actually use it. Let's break this down into a simple, practical system. First, turmeric on its own has very limited absorption in the body. That means most of it passes through without being effectively used. But when you combine it with black pepper, specifically its active compound piperine, you dramatically change that outcome. Piperine acts like a bioavailability enhancer. In simple terms, it helps your body absorb and retain much more of the curcumin you consume, allowing it to actually reach the pathways we've been talking about instead of being wasted during digestion. Now here's how to use it correctly in a real-world routine. For daily intake, you don't need extreme doses or supplements designed for clinical use. In most cases, a consistent culinary level intake is enough to support these biological signaling effects over time. Think in terms of regular dietary use, adding turmeric into meals you already eat, rather than treating it like a high-intensity intervention. Timing matters more than people realize. The best time to take it is with meals that contain healthy fats. This could be olive oil, eggs, yogurt, nuts, or even fatty fish. Curcumin is fat-soluble, which means it integrates better and becomes more available to your body when consumed alongside fats. Preparation also plays a role. Light warming can actually help release beneficial compounds from turmeric, especially in traditional preparations like teas or warm drinks. However, excessive heat over long periods can reduce some of its potency, so it's about balance, not over-processing it. You can use turmeric in several forms. Powder, which is the most common and versatile. Fresh root, which is closer to its natural state. Herbal teas or infused drinks for easier daily use. Now let's look at how people unintentionally reduce its effectiveness. One of the most common mistakes is taking turmeric alone, without any fat or black pepper. In that case, absorption is extremely low, and the biological signaling we've discussed becomes minimal. Another mistake is overcooking it at very high temperatures for long periods, which can degrade some of its active compounds. And perhaps the most overlooked issue is inconsistency. Using it once in a while doesn't create a meaningful biological effect. These pathways respond to repeated signaling over time, not occasional exposure. Here are simple, practical ways to apply it. Golden milk is one of the most effective traditional methods. Combining turmeric with warm milk or plant-based alternatives, black pepper, and a healthy fat source like coconut oil. You can also add it directly to meals, soups, rice dishes, vegetables, or eggs, where it integrates naturally into your daily eating pattern without effort. Another option is a functional drink in the morning or evening, combining turmeric with warm water, a pinch of black pepper, and a fat source for absorption support. The key is not complexity, it's consistency and proper combination. As long as it is paired correctly, your body is far more likely to actually use it at the cellular level. And of course, moderation still matters. This is about food level, sustainable use, not excessive dosing or replacing medical treatment. Because at the end of the day, it's not about taking more, it's about making it work. Here's what I tell my patients. If you're trying to support these cellular repair pathways, the first thing you need to understand is that biology responds to patterns, not one-time actions. So instead of thinking in terms of quick fixes, you need to think in terms of daily signals your body can recognize and adapt to. One of the simplest but most important principles is pairing turmeric with fat for absorption. Without it, a large portion of its active compounds never reach the systems we've been discussing. Healthy fats like olive oil, eggs, nuts, seeds, or coconut-based ingredients help carry these compounds through your digestive system and into circulation more effectively. The next principle is consistency over intensity. I often see people try something for a few days, expect dramatic changes, and then stop when they don't feel immediate results. But pathways like FOXO3 and inflammation regulation don't respond to short bursts. They respond to repeated, gentle signaling over time. It's like training a system rather than forcing it. Then there's the broader dietary context. Curcumin works best when it's part of an overall anti-inflammatory eating pattern. That doesn't mean perfection. It means reducing chronic inflammatory load where possible. More whole foods, more colorful plants, fewer ultra-processed ingredients. The goal is to create an internal environment where repair signals can actually be heard. Another important concept is rotation and balance. No single compound should be treated as a complete solution. Your body is complex, and relying on one ingredient alone can create imbalance or unrealistic expectations. Instead, think of turmeric as one supportive tool within a larger system that includes nutrition, movement, and recovery. And this is where lifestyle synergy becomes critical. Sleep is one of the most powerful regulators of repair signaling in your body. Poor sleep alone can blunt many of the benefits we've discussed. Stress management is equally important because chronic stress keeps your system in a constant defensive mode, making repair less efficient. From a practical standpoint, I usually recommend building this into simple routines. For example, a morning habit could include a warm functional drink with turmeric and black pepper, or an evening golden milk ritual that also helps signal wind down and recovery. You can also integrate it into everyday meals without overthinking. Soups, eggs, rice dishes, or vegetable-based meals. The key is simplicity. Because when a habit is simple, it becomes consistent. And when it becomes consistent, your biology actually has a chance to respond. And that's what most people miss. And that's exactly why so many people try this approach and think it doesn't work. It usually comes down to a few simple but critical mistakes. Mistake 1, taking turmeric alone. This is the most common error. People add turmeric into water or food without anything else and assume their body will absorb it properly. The problem is, curcumin has very low natural bioavailability on its own. Most of it gets broken down before it can reach the pathways we've been discussing. The fix is simple. Always combine it with black pepper. Piperine significantly enhances absorption, allowing your body to actually use the compound instead of discarding it. Mistake 2, megadosing supplements. More is not better here. Many people assume that higher doses will create stronger effects, but biology doesn't work like that. Excessive intake can overwhelm digestion and does not necessarily improve cellular signaling. In some cases, it can even cause discomfort or reduce consistency because people stop using it altogether. The fix is moderation and sustainability, small, regular intake that your body can respond to over time. Mistake 3, expecting instant results. This is where most people lose patience. Cellular repair systems like FOXO3 activation, inflammation modulation, and oxidative balance don't shift overnight. They operate on biological timelines, not instant feedback. The fix is understanding that you're influencing long-term cellular behavior, not creating immediate visible changes. Think weeks and months, not hours or days. Mistake 4, ignoring overall diet quality. Even a powerful compound like curcumin can only do so much if the rest of your diet is constantly driving inflammation. Ultra-processed foods, excess sugar, and chronic dietary stress can overwhelm any supportive effect. The fix is to reduce inflammatory inputs, so your body is not constantly in repair deficit mode. Mistake 5, poor preparation methods. Overheating turmeric for long periods, using it in isolation, or failing to pair it with fats can significantly reduce its effectiveness. These small preparation details make a big difference in whether the compound is actually bioactive in your system. The fix is simple, gentle preparation with fat and pepper, integrated into everyday meals. When you step back, the pattern is clear. Most failures come not from the ingredient itself, but from how it's used in real life. The way these cellular changes unfold is not instant. It follows a very predictable biological timeline, but most people misinterpret it because they expect fast, obvious signals. In the first week or two, the changes are extremely subtle. At this stage, what's happening is mostly internal. Your body begins to show small shifts in oxidative stress signaling. It's like the background noise inside your cells starts to quiet down just slightly. You won't feel a dramatic difference yet, but on a biochemical level, the environment is beginning to stabilize. The constant wear and tear signals start to reduce in intensity, even if you don't consciously notice it. If this helped you understand what's really happening beneath the surface of aging, then make sure you stay connected for more science-backed insights like this. You can subscribe so you don't miss future breakdowns where we go beyond surface level health advice and explore the real biological systems driving energy, repair, and longevity. And if someone you know is interested in aging better, staying energetic, or understanding how the body actually works at a deeper level, share this with them. It could completely change the way they see their health. Because once you start understanding these internal systems, you stop guessing and start making sense of what your body has been trying to tell you all along. And in the next video, we're going even deeper. There's another system inside your body that plays an even more fundamental role in how fast you age and how much energy you produce every single day. It works behind the scenes, constantly influencing everything from cellular power output to recovery speed. Most people completely overlook it, but when it's not functioning properly, nothing else truly works at full potential. And the interesting part is, it connects directly to something you already do every single day without even thinking about it. There's another system even more powerful than this one, and almost no one is talking about it.